We're going to do a very short, brief wreath-laying ceremony. Honor General Washington. We have two veterans here, and we'll start the ceremony now. Very special day after the 4th of July. We were quite busy here yesterday. So please join me, if you can hold that for me, sir. I'm going to start off with the national anthem. Alrighty. If you're not in uniform, military uniform, please take your hat off and hand over the heart. I'll give an introduction. If you'd like to sing along, feel free. If not, that's understandable. Stand by the flag and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. A little bit about this flag. You may not be familiar with it. This is a replica of the flag that would have been flown by General Washington's tent during the Revolutionary War at battles like Trenton, Princeton, Morristown, Monmouth, the big one, Yorktown, and many more. 13 stars, 13 original colonies. He's appointed as the Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army in 1775. The Army's birthday was last month, so the Army's actually older than the country. A little fun history trivia for you. So I'm going to ask my colleague and supervisor, Kathleen, to tell us a little history about this area, the new tomb, please.
So this is the site George Washington chose for the tomb. The original resting place you'll see marked as Old Tomb a little further up the hill. When George Washington wrote his will, he asked for this new tomb to be created after he died. It was eventually constructed in 1831, and everyone who was in the Old Tomb was moved to this one at that time. We now have George Washington interred in the sarcophagus on the right, and Martha Washington is in the one on the left. Beyond that black door you see, that's where the other family members are now interred. There are 25 more family members in the vault. There are an additional 3 family members buried to the right there as well. These monuments were put in 1850 to honor the family members who lived here after George Washington. Their remains are some of the ones in the vault now.
Thank you, Kathleen. I'm going to have our veterans come forward, and I'm going to read this prayer, and then you gentlemen come forward. Soon you'll later read after I read this. So we had the Declaration of Independence, but the Constitution wouldn't come till much later. We had the Articles of Confederation, limited power, states starting a fight amongst themselves, and next thing you know, George Washington is basically writing a letter, a circular, and he's, to sum it up, he's saying, let us not be a divided but a united America. And you can find these words if you look up his farewell in George Washington's prayer. I now make it my earnest prayer that God would have the United States in his holy protection, that he would incline the hearts of the citizens to cultivate a spirit of subordination and obedience to government, to entertain a brotherly affection and love for one another, for their fellow citizens of the United States at large, and particularly for their brethren who have served in the field, and finally that he would most graciously be pleased to dispose us all to do justice, to love mercy, and to demean ourselves with that charity, humility, and pacific temper of mind, which are the characteristics of the divine author of our blessed religion, and without an humble imitation of whose example in these things we can never hope to be a happy nation. Amen. All right, veterans, just tell us a little bit about your time of service, your name, rank, time of service, and then you'll later read.
Good afternoon. My name is Lawrence Williams. I was U.S. Army 1983 to 1986. I was a specialist for promotable. I served strictly during peacetime. great experience. Love serving my country, and that's pretty much it.
Lieutenant Colonel Samuel McNabb from Charleston, West Virginia. I served from 69 to 96, and a lot of different units. Vietnam was part of it, Alaska, Panama. And one thing of unusual is, those of you that understand the draft codes, like the 1A and the 2D and 4F and stuff like that, I was 4F. So there's a smile, he knows what it means. So I got in on a medical waiver, and they put me in the infantry.
Great. And now, gentlemen, if you could, I thank you for your service. If you could, the entire stand in the wreath and just step right inside. Watch your step, please. There's a little lip there.
Where do you want to step? Right in the center?
Right in the center, up front, central front.
All the way in?
That's fine, right there, sir.
All right.
And at this time, I'll now put in some to honor our fallen soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guard. Silence. You can step out now, gentlemen. We'll conclude the ceremony with that service song, the Army song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.